Hi, welcome back to the conservatory. I've been having a few problems with my internet connection over the last week or so, so I hope that we will be uninterrupted, but if there are any problems and I cut out in any way, stick with me. Hi Kathy, lovely to see you. So I'm going to give it a moment or two to see who else might be going to join us this morning. I've got Muppet down here, you might just have heard her making a little sigh. She's got very adept over the last few months at making little nests for herself in any items of clothing or towels or anything else I happen to have left on the floor. I can see from the video that it looks as if there is a little interference with the internet. I hope that you will be able to hear me throughout, even if the video pauses. Okay, so welcome. Hi Bob, lovely to see you. Hi Bradley. Wonderful. Lovely to see so many people this morning. Okay, so I've been thinking about weather. It's a very British preoccupation, isn't it, the weather? But there's a reason for that. The weather affects our lives in the way that it doesn't for those people in the same way, those people who live in what we call a climate. It's often said that Britain has weather rather than a climate. And the weather's played a big part in my life over the last week or so because, as you know, if you are in the UK and you're watching this at a time when close to when I've either live or close to when I actually recorded it, we've had some extremes. We've had building up to and then several days of extreme heat wave over 30 degrees. And then just like that, it changed. And during the heat wave, some of you may be aware, I was preparing to return to doing live workshops. I did these for about 6 months prior to lockdown, every month, and they were very popular and I loved doing them. And it's one of the biggest regrets that I've had over lockdown is that that's one aspect that I wasn't able to bring online, or I chose not to. And so I was very excited about starting a new workshop, and I found a lovely location because the decision I made was to do them outside. And as I say, we'd had a consistent period of good weather and at times verging on real heat wave. So I avoided the first weekend because it was going to be over 30 degrees and I felt it was too much in a new outside venue until I knew exactly how it would all work. And I prepared for the following weekend. And then the weather changed. And the venue I had found was literally a field. Basic facilities, no cover for practicing. So that the decision had to be made closer to the time to cancel, or rather postpone. And I found a new venue now, so next weekend, for those who are interested, I am planning the workshop. So next weekend, Saturday the 22nd, I have now got a venue where we have an undercover alternative, an indoor alternative, if we choose to use it. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. The point is the weather affected my plans. My weather affected my ability to deliver what I wanted to people. And then this weekend, I arranged yesterday to meet some friends at South Sea Beach. We went for breakfast and a walk. And we sat in the cafe for well over 2 hours, catching up, having a really enjoyable breakfast. And then we decided to go for our walk, at which point the heavens opened. So our walk was very, very wet. And if you saw the photograph that I attached to the event announcement for this meditation, which we will be getting to, it was a picture of the rain on the sea. Very, very British sea. And the reason I'm talking about all of this is because it's brought to mind a phrase which I have always loved, and it's a quote from the Buddhist teacher Pema Chödrön. And the phrase is, "You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather." And the weather can be hugely important. It can completely derail our plans. It can change something that we were looking forward to into a huge disappointment. Sometimes we can adapt to it. Our walk was wonderful, even though we all ended up soaked to the skin, but we chose to enjoy it. Sometimes the weather does derail plans completely. But the thing is, whatever the weather, we always know that somewhere up there above the weather, the sky is still blue. And if you were to get into an aeroplane and take off through the clouds, there is always that wide blue expanse of sky. And that's the space that we're looking for when we're making space. That sense of a big open sky. And sometimes we can't see it. I'm looking up in my conservatory, and above me there is whiteness. There is an overcast pall of cloud today. But I know it's blue up above. And that space that the sky represents is the same as the space inside. And whether we're talking about the space out there, the blue sky up above the weather, or whether we're talking about that sense of space inside, they are both always there. And sometimes we need to step back and realise that maybe today isn't the day that we had planned, but that space is still there. So I'm going to invite you, as always, to find your feet, to connect into the ground. However you're sitting, let your feet really connect and engage so that your legs feel a sense of purpose, a sense of engagement through from your feet up to your hips. Let your sitting bones rest into the ground or the seat of the chair or whatever you're sitting on. Maybe feel a sense of your spine starting to loosen and engage, release and lift. And let your eyes close gently if they haven't already done so. Or if it feels better for you, simply let the gaze focus softly, resting down. And bring your awareness to your breath. Allowing that breath to come and go with all the space and the time that it needs. Noticing how the breath makes the space that it needs. And that simply by watching your breath, allowing it to be as it wishes to be today, now, space is created inside. Or rather, we are reminded that space exists inside. And as you sit with the breath, you may find that easily, naturally, it starts to deepen a little, to lengthen a little. Or maybe for you today, that's not happening. And that's okay too. And as I sit here, I hear that the rain has started. I don't know if you could hear it over the video. But the gentle patter of the rain can become another thing to focus on, if we choose. Or we can let it recede and simply continue to watch the breath. And either way, each breath expands the space still further. Growing, opening, expanding, until the space inside your heart center is a reflection of the space in the sky, an infinite space that is always bright, always blue, always expansive, even when it's hidden from view temporarily. And when your mind wanders, distracted by a sound, a thought, a sensation in the body, just notice where it's gone. And then gently, kindly, bring it back to your breath. Returning to that sense of space, however large or small it feels to you right now. Trusting that whatever you can feel or see in this moment, the space inside you is and always will be infinite. And when you become aware that your mind has wandered again, bring your awareness back into your feet for a moment. Find that sense of connection to the ground again, that connection through your sitting bones. Allow your spine to lift and release, your shoulders to rest. And check your face, your jaw, your tongue, your lips. Notice if there's tension creeping in. And relax and soften the jaw. Let the tongue be loose in the mouth. Let your brow be soft. And simply watch your breath as it comes and goes. Bringing your awareness to the space inside your heart center, the space of the sky, way above, beyond any clouds, and all the space in between those two. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be peace within us, around us, and far from us. Thank you for being with me, whether live or on the replay. If you're around next Saturday and you're local to me, contact me and do come along to the workshop if you can. And if you're not already a member of my Making Space group, please come and join us inside. See you soon. Take care.